Yo, what do you say there, buddy? It's me, the infidel. I'm back, baby. I like it. I like talking about this stuff, obviously. Even though at the end of the day, I think you'll still be a Muslim and I'll still be an atheist. I think it's necessary for us to talk because it creates understanding. And it's not important to me that you see the world the way I do for us to get along and for us to have a decent relationship in the world and with other people. And if we think that one has to see the other one's point of view just to get along, then it's going to be a very boring world. I have to accept the fact that not a lot of people are going to see my point of view, and that's okay. Doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make me a bad person. The things that make us good or bad people is how we treat each other. It's not what we believe. What we believe is, it's important, but as long as you conduct yourself as a decent person, you can believe in, I don't know, flying mice. I don't know. You can think of whatever crazy thing. I don't care. As long as you're a good person and you understand what that's about. So yes, this discussion is good to have. So let's get into some details. You talk about, he gave us a brain to think, and unlike the other animals, which are only doing what they're programmed to do. Now see, I don't think that we're the only ones that have this ability to think. On the level that we can think, yes. We are obviously so far above any other animals, I will give you that. But when it comes to emotion and feelings and thinking ahead and remembering the past, we're not the only ones. Elephants often go to bones from fallen pack members from the past that died years ago. And when they come upon the bones of these dead animals that were in their pack for years and years, they stop, they pick up the bones, and they seem to be very down, very kind of lethargic, as if they were remembering someone and grieving. Now that's something we thought we could only do, to grieve. I think elephants grieve. Elephants have great memories. Elephants have rules and regulations in their packs that you treat each other with a certain respect or you're out of there. We're not the only ones with morality. We're not the only ones with feelings. We're not the only ones that make tools. We're not the only ones with the ability to think ahead. We're not the only ones with the ability to plan and plot. How could you look at other primates and look into their eyes and see they have 5 fingers and 5 toes, just like we do. They have 2 eyes, a nose. They are built almost exactly like we are. And you see their ability to manipulate tools and to think and to get along. They have some form of morality amongst themselves. We're not the only ones. And how can you say that? How can you say that we are so much better than everything else? We're smarter, but in a lot of ways we're not. Look at what we do to this planet. So is the intelligence such a good thing? Now we have the ability to kill ourselves and destroy everything. We have the ability to make this planet a place where you don't want to live, where you can't live. No other creature can do that. So maybe intelligence isn't such a good thing. Did you ever think of that? And if God is the one that gave us this intelligence, then he's the one to blame for everything we're doing to this planet. I don't think it went that way. And I don't think that intelligence is limited to humans. You have primates. Take a look at a cuttlefish. This thing is not even a mammal. I agree that most intelligence seems to be in the mammalian area, mostly mammals like dolphins, whales, obviously all the primates, the humans, the chimpanzees, the great apes, the bonobos, the chimps, the orangutans, you name it. And then there's no way that you could look at their skeletal system, their brain, their muscular system, their digestive system. Everything is like 98% the same. Now, I know that might bother you, But to me, that's beautiful. To me, that's wonderful. To say that I came from humble beginnings and that we've been through so much to make it to where we are, that to me is great. I don't feel like you're calling me a monkey or you're calling me some low animal. I take that as a compliment. We are at the pinnacle of evolution on our planet. So of course to us we look special. Of course we look like someone placed us here because we don't belong. Well, we're not that much different than everything else. Just look around you. You just look at those primates. And if God saw fit to make us in this image, then he saw fit to make primates in our image too. Why would he make another creature look just like us? Make a bunch of them. Why would he want something that looked just like us if we're so unique? Doesn't make any sense. More likely, we came out of the same beginnings as those primates did. Now to me, like I said, that makes me feel better because I don't feel like somebody just put me here and that's the reason I have intelligence. I have intelligence because many, many thousands of generations of people painstakingly gathered knowledge and tested and tried things and found out what was wrong and what was right. And eventually we got to this point of intelligence, building off of each other a step at a time. And that makes me feel so much more proud than to say a God just made me and poofed me here out of clay, and that's why I'm smart, because he made me in his image. That cheapens it for me. That gives me no credit. That means it gives him all the credit. We did this. We are the reason we're like this. So for you to say that no other animal, they're all programmed. I don't know what programmed means, but I do have an idea. When you were 2 years old, when you were 1, were you able to think ahead? Were you able to say, hey, I want to run from here to there? No, you were on autopilot. You didn't know what you were going to do next. A kid just runs around and they do whatever they do. You have 3 kids. You should know. And when you ask them, why did you do this? They, I don't know. And they do not know because they're on autopilot. The brain has not fully formed yet. See, a lot of animals develop fully in the womb and then they come out and already ready to go, like animals that live on the plain in the Serengeti. A gazelle is born, it's ready to go. A human is defenseless because most of our developing takes so long it has to happen out of the womb. If that were the case, mothers would have us until they're 2 or 13. So even when a human is 7 or 8, he's thinking a little more in terms of what he wants to do and what has happened to him in the past. Now I can gauge the future by what has happened in the past. But when you're 1 or 2, you have no past to rely on, no idea of how to act or what to do. So you touch something and it's hot, you say, ow! Then you remember the next time, that's hot, I don't touch it. And you build upon this. You're not born with anything. It has to develop. So yes, even humans are on autopilot, programmed, so to speak, until the age of 5, 6, 7, 8. Even at 10, 12, a mind is still not fully formed. That's why they send our kids to war at 17 and 18, because they still haven't figured out how the world is supposed to work. If they sent people to war at 30, no one would sign up. So even at 18, 20, 25 years old, the mind still has not made up the way it thinks about the world. So, we are no different than any animals. And you gave me some evidence about embryology, about the Qu'ran had predicted embryology. Well, it said in a contained unit. That doesn't mean anything. Let's see here. Basically, humans have different kind of things going on in mind. We are given free will to choose. No, we're not. No, we're not. Either God has a plan and he knows everything that's going to happen, or we have free will. It can't be both. If we have free will, then God cannot predict what I'm going to do. Otherwise, if he knows what I'm going to do, then I don't have free will. How can I have free will when a God knew 1 trillion years ago this very conversation? If Allah knew yesterday what I was saying today, then I do not have free will. what I'm doing right now, what I think I'm operating on my own free will, my own volition to do what I like, a God has already determined that I am going to do that. So there is no free will in a world where there is an omniscient, all-knowing, all-powerful God who knows the future. Either there is an all-powerful God who knows the future, or we have free will. It can't be both. You can't have both. So if you want to say I have free will, then God doesn't know the future. If you want to say God knows the future, then you cannot say I have free will. And in a universe where what I do doesn't matter because it's all predetermined, then what is the sense of me ever doing anything? Why do I even bother getting up in the morning when everything is predetermined? It can't be predetermined. We do have free will. But by definition, free will cannot be given to you. Otherwise, it's not free will. You see what I'm saying? You can't have free will and say it was given to you. You either have it or you are commanded to be. Let's see. The thing that appeals to one, let's see. Basically, humans, different kind of things go on in our mind. We're given free will to choose. The thing which appeals to one would not appeal to another. As you see, some choose to kill for small benefits and others choose not to. Similarly, some choose to think positively and some choose not to. And moreover, some choose not to believe in God and others choose to believe in Him. You don't recognize God only by seeing Him. You recognize Him through signs. What signs? Well, it's mentioned in the Qu'ran. You didn't want to get specific. He's showing all along. It's mentioned, but you don't say what. About embryology, and through modern research that other scientists found out what Islam thought was true. How do I explain this? Aren't these signs from God? He already spoke. We are the ones not listening. Okay. What the Quran says is that the womb is a containment vessel, a sealed containment vessel. Well, anyone that's ever seen a pregnant woman already knows that. And it says that the baby starts as a clot of blood, and then it's clothed over with tissue, and then muscle, and then bone, and then we clothe the bone with skin. And if you had ever, in the time when the Quran was written, people died by the sword. Many times people came into villages and killed everyone, man, women, and children. And I'm sure plenty of times there have been pregnant women sliced open, and you can see what's in the belly. So to know what size the baby would be at any certain stage of development is no revelation. Now, had the Quran said that we determine sex, whether it's going to be a boy or a girl, through chromosome interaction, or if it said that there is a chemical that can duplicate itself that stores all the information and something like DNA, maybe I'd say it's a revealed thing. But there's nothing revealed there. How about God telling us that microbes cause disease? How about that? Wouldn't that be more important to, when you give birth, to make sure your hands are clean when you take the baby out? Make sure you wash your hands because there's these little things called germs and bacteria and viruses that kill you, but you can't see them. Maybe if the Quran said something about that, then I might say you have something. But all it says is that the baby develops in the womb. That's blatantly obvious. So no, I don't think there's any revelation there whatsoever. That's like the Bible. People think there's revelation in there. Now, let me make a point. There can be good things in the Quran, but this isn't one of them. There could be good things. I say keep it. Keep the good stuff, and let's get rid of all the hate, and get rid of all the Jews are pigs and that kind of stuff. We can do without that. Teach me to be a good person. Teach me not to hate. Don't teach me to hate. All right, I got to stop now because I'm approaching the 15-minute mark. But I'll make you another one another time, buddy. Good chatting with you.